Good afternoon, friends. I have something extra special for Easter that I wanted to share with you guys. They are these 14 Days Till Easter cards from Crew & Company, and I thought they are so much fun, and this can be something that we can do together for the next 2 weeks until Easter time. And so today's 14 Days Until Easter says, "Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." Luke 8:48. And we're going to read from our Jesus Storybook Bible. If you want to go grab yours, we're going to read the story of a little girl and a poor, frail lady. So this is what we're looking at, a little girl and a poor, frail lady from Luke 8. There was once a little girl who didn't get out of bed one morning, or the next, or the next. In fact, she didn't get out of bed for a whole month. She was very sick, and no one knew how to make her better. Jairus was her daddy, and he loved her. One day, he was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, wishing there was something he could. "I know," he said. He jumped to his feet, put on his coat, kissed his daughter, ran down the steps, past the servants, out of the house, through the gates, along the road, and into the temple. He fought his way through all the people, and at last he found who he was looking for. Who do we think he's looking for? What do you think? So we are going up the steps, and he said, "Jesus," he said, falling at the feet of Jesus. "My daughter," he pleaded, "please." But he didn't need to beg, because before he'd finished speaking, Jesus reached out his hand and helped him up. "I'll come at once," Jesus said. Jairus' eyes filled with tears. Jesus was coming. It would be all right. And in those days, of course, they didn't have an ambulance, so they had to go by foot. Jesus' helpers knew that he would heal the sick girl, but they must hurry. If Jesus didn't get there soon, it would be too late. But everyone was in the way, hustling and bustling, jostling and pressing, pushing and shoving, squishing and squashing. The disciples ran ahead, forcing back the crowd. Suddenly, Jesus stopped. His friends looked back. What was he doing? "Who touched me?" Jesus asked, because he felt power go out of him. "Me," said a frail lady, looking down at the ground, because she was ashamed. The poor lady had been sick for 12 years. She had to get well. She knew if she only touched Jesus' coat, she would be healed. So she touched his coat, and instantly she was well. "We don't have time," Jesus' friend said, but Jesus always had time. He reached out his hands and gently lifted the hands and her head. He looked into her eyes and smiled. "You believed," he said, wiping a tear from her eye, "and now you are well." Just then, Jairus' servant rushed up to Jairus. "It's too late," he said breathlessly. "Your daughter is dead." Jesus turned to Jairus. "It's not too late," Jesus said. "Trust me." At Jairus' house, everyone was crying, but Jesus said, "I'm going to wake her up." Everyone laughed at him because they knew she was dead. Jesus walked into the little girl's bedroom, and there, lying in the corner, in the shadows, was the still little figure. Jesus sat on the bed and took her pale hand. "Honey," he said, "it's time to get up." And he reached down into death and gently brought the little girl back to life. The little girl woke up, rubbed her eyes as if she had just had a good night's sleep, and leapt out of bed. Jesus threw open the shutters and sunlight flooded in the dark room. "Hungry?" Jesus asked, and she nodded. Jesus called to her family, "Bring this little girl some breakfast." Jesus helped and healed many people like this. He made blind people see. He made deaf people hear. He made lame people walk. Jesus was making the sad things come untrue. He was mending God's broken world. I don't know about you guys, but that's one of my favorite stories and one of my favorite things that Jesus ever did for us. And I think that one of the coolest parts is that our Bible said Jesus was making the sad things come untrue. We all have sad things about our life. We are all trapped in our house and we're not able to go anywhere. But we can always trust that what is in our Bible and the things about Jesus are always true. And they're good things. And so I hope that you enjoyed this story and that you're going to keep on our journey with me for our 14 days until Easter. And I hope to see you back tomorrow. Thanks.